live high in the Colorado Rocky Mountains with my family in a dense forest, surrounded by nature and abundant wildlife. It's a wondrous environment. Together we enjoy the mountains with appreciation. We're located with easy access to all kinds of high elevation outdoor recreation and opportunities to get rad. But when I was young, I started drumming early, and I've always enjoyed singing. I played in bands throughout high school and my first years in college, and then I headed out west to check out the Seattle music scene and to explore bigger mountains. I ended up playing in a lot of bands in different genres and toured throughout the US and Canada while finishing up my undergrad degree. I was a social justice and environmental activist, and I was writing socially conscious lyrics to accompany the music I composed. It was after I performed in 2 different bands at an event at Seattle's Town Hall with Amy Goodman from Democracy Now! That I realized I needed to start my band Salem, the name meaning peace. I was soon booking regular Salem tours throughout the Pacific Northwest, and I began branching out to the East Coast in Colorado. I had ski raced in high school and switched to snowboarding in the early days, so I naturally aligned Salem with snow sports events. I tried to incorporate sustainability while touring and co-produced a couple solar-powered concerts. I was stoked to coordinate a tour from Colorado to Seattle in a veggie oil-powered shuttle bus where we played the main stage at the Seattle Hemp Fest for 10,000 people. While living in the Emerald City, I hiked from Paradise to Camp Muir on Tahoma, Mount Rainier with my mother. That was the first glacier I had ever experienced, and I was mesmerized to see climbers snowboarding the descent. I realized then that I wanted to ride glaciated big mountains, and soon found that this passion would find a home in Alaska. My first trip to AK was a weekend of shows in Girdwood near Anchorage. I fell into the intrigue of the vastness of Alaska's wild terrain. I began booking Salem tours around the state at bars, festivals, colleges, and at events I coordinated with rafting, ice climbing, sea kayaking, and heli skiing guide companies. Our days were infused with outdoor recreation.
All right, Bear 2 Theater. Rose Hill Drive.
We dipped back into civilization and supported bands like Brett Dennen and Rose Hill Drive, and then rolled back out to play in small historic towns like Talkeetna. We mingled with international mountaineers and local guides, as it's sort of the base camp for those heading to Denali, Mount McKinley, the tallest peak in North America. We lucked out. Talkeetna Air Taxi had some room for these sightseeing tours, and we woke up this morning hanging out with the Army, the Chinook choppers, setting up base camp up here. We bumped into 2 mountaineers that are actually doing one of the first ascents of the West Buttress for the season. And we're out here in the amphitheater, in the glory of it all. I was consumed in being present in the enormity of Alaska's spaces, awed by the extent of the glaciers and ice caps throughout the state. The Alaska Range is massive and visually spectacular, and Denali Park became one of my favorite summer Salem tour destinations, where we would perform shows and raft the Nenana River, floating the meltwater of the northern Alaska Range. Rivers of ice emanate from the Chugach Mountain Range, spanning almost 300 miles. From the Matanuska Glacier to the ice caves of the Valdez Glacier icebergs, I was mesmerized with the scale and beauty. I knew of the mythical Chilkat Range in Haines, located in southeast Alaska, the ancestral home of the Tlingit people, centered in Klook Run, flanked by a myriad of Canadian mirror images along the depth of the Lynn Fjord. From Juneau to Haines and Skagway, the historic route of the Gold Rush, now reincarnate in our pilgrimage to where the steepest lines hold the deepest snow, the fabled spines, the eagle's retreat, the abundant halibut and salmon. I was smitten. I had played Salem shows and festivals throughout the summer in the southeast, but it was gratifying to establish an annual Spring Alaska tour that has allowed us to fly and ferry to Haines for some of the best riding in the world. The Salem Pioneer Bar Alaska Heli Skiing Party has been one of my favorite shows to play. I've been fortunate to find musicians with a kindred drive for POW tours, who appreciate not only the opportunity to perform at venues near and far and with communities of like-minded enthusiasts, but also in situating ourselves where we could access beautiful and powerful environments. I enjoy another type of Alaskan glacier-focused tourism at Thompson Pass in Valdez, snowboarding the glacial peaks of the Chugach. It's an international hub for skiers and snowboarders throughout the spring, with easy access to incredible terrain, whether you splitboard, heli ski, or snowmobile for your lines. The Spring Salem Alaska Rendezvous Lodge Party is a celebration of shredding POW, 45 miles inland from the Valdez Harbor, right in the heart of some of the best big mountain skiing in the world.
I started riding back in '86, J-Peak local style. Coming from ski racing, been sorels with ski boot liners. Reset my riding in the Northwest, from out of the Emerald City. Ocean to rainforest and Olympics, Cascades to the east.
Scanning.
Deep
I took the
days
high
at
road.
Lake Cresta Alta, summer sessions at Mount Hood Meadows to top it all. Hike a paradise to campment with my mother. From then big mountains and glacier lover. Soon regular trips to AK, a quick flight or the Bellingham Beret. Chugach and Chilkat open my mind and my soul. 13 years and you're what I feel at my home. I used to snowshoe to get to the zone. Have my board strapped to my bag. Then I met the fine folks at Bolay, and I started making skin tracks. Since '91, the split board design, Cowboy and Wally collaborated. Now we knuckle draggers have a way to skin up the mountains elevated. Deep days in the west side range, Utah, the effect is insane. Been splitting up the road from SLC, big and little Cottonwood, all the place to be. Isn't it true the passion for the mountains in you will take you to places in your heart too? Deep breaths with every skin track set, your life along your path, it does connect. Find a way to make music and follow the power. Found the right players that heard the same call. Took some classes to get some skills for the goods. We riding on Bolay like you knew we would. Once again, booking a season for me and my bros. Salem Power Tour bringing us to your zone. Lower 48 in the game, kinda 10. I find it all winter, family does extend. Deep days, 10-mile range, summer concessions. Colorado sunshine, a blessing been splitting out my door. Now my wife is on board and we are living the life. Isn't it true the passion for the mountains of you will take you to the places in your heart too? Deep breaths with every skin track set, your life along your path, it does connect. Deep days, 10-mile range, summer concessions, Colorado sunshine, a blessing been splitting out my door. Now my wife is on board and we are living the life. Isn't it true the passion in the mountains of you will take you to places in your heart too? Deep breaths with every skin track set, your life along your path, you know it does connect.
I went out there and skinned right up through these lower bumps and skied really nice. You know?
Yeah, these are clanks, don't they?
I like it.
Auspicious timing allowed me the honor of linking up with some of Alaska's mountaineering legends in Valdez. There are a lot of backcountry ski routes in the area, many of which require travel on glaciers. Matt's backcountry ski guidebook is essential. Jim Sweeney took me ice climbing up at Thompson Pass. He has a wealth of knowledge in mountaineering, and his survival story in attempting to pioneer a route called the Elevator Shaft in the Alaska Range is testament to his fortitude.
Dave hunkers against the mountain when he hears the explosion. Something has broken and he thinks it's an avalanche. First, the snow pummels his helmet and shoulders. Then the force presses his body against the mountain. The wave of snow pounds him. Dave expects to be ripped in a belay and down the elevator shaft. Everything happens so quickly, he's only vaguely aware that I fall past him before the force of my fall yanks him up and slaps him against the ice. His hands holds the ropes. When the deluge lightens, he lifts his head as the dust settles. He looks down. Ropes hang in long loops, slings and gear in front of him are a tangled mess, and I'm 50 feet below, hanging upside down. "Jim, Jim," he yells. "Are you okay?" No response. I fell 100 feet. More snow cascades down from above.
Many have journeyed, you will find it. The story must remain in a way that we can find it. Hundreds of moons have passed, we get the night. Open your mind and turn over the light. Many have journeyed, you will find it. The story must remain in a way that we can find it. Hundreds of moons have passed, we get the night. Open your mind and turn over the light.
I continued to travel throughout Alaska with music, and on this trip, I had a strategic mission in mind in being able to play a couple shows and to get out in the mountains to make some turns. Alaska is unique as an enormous natural resource. From temperate rainforest to the Arctic, from sea to summit, the interconnectivity of these regions, the habitats, the migratory species, the passage of water from ocean to ice and back again, leaving traces upon the environment. We were back in Girdwood, skiing in view of the Turnagain Arm, surrounded by 7 glaciers, performing music, inspired by our location.